So, what I wanted to do today was and I'm in Black Dragon. Just doing a quick intro. 44-year-old older millennial. I guess I don't know where I fall on that spectrum. I guess uh, I grew up offline all of my life. Half of my life is offline without the internet. So I thought I'd come up today just to you know react a little bit to some TikTok videos about modern dating and how complicated it is or isn't, or just to actually get some feedback and reaction of what I'm seeing on social media, since this is how people are kind of documenting their lives or video diaries or misadventures or something like that. So um, if you're on TikTok or on Patreon, I'm streaming on those platforms as well. But uh, right now I'm on YouTube. I'm using StreamYard, and I'm sharing my screen for YouTube, so you can actually see the videos that I'm playing. But I have my speaker, I believe, through my little Bluetooth speaker, so you should be able to at least hear the video that I'm playing as we're going through this. So a couple of topics I wrote down just to so I can keep a mental track of it was the on the dating notes. It was the subject, topic of one, men not approaching. Um, I know there's uh, I mean, I'm familiar. I'm obviously familiar with men not approaching. I'm one of them, right? This wasn't always the case. This is a societal change that people will have to that people are not really responding to well. So I want to go over that. And then dating in 2024, 2025. I just put modern dating in 2020X because, it's not going to matter. These years go by so fast, 24, 25, 26. So I wanted to kind of cover a range of 2020 dating, right? Dating over over the years of 2020. So um, I wanted to look that up and see what some people commented on or said about that. And then dating requirements. I wanted to go over some videos of what people are talking about on this topic of dating environments, dating requirements. I'm sorry, and the bring to the table argument, not argument, but discussion. There are a few videos on that. I think that's probably maybe a bit outdated now. It was a big argument back in like 2022, 23, 20, 4 about what men and women both bring to the table in a relationship. And then green flags. I wanted to see if there were any videos with the topic of green flags, because we overuse the term red flags all the time to describe something that we don't like or don't want to tolerate, or a telltale sign of being in fear or walking or running away from a person that we might want to get to know simply because they said something or did something um, that triggers us. So I wanted to see if I can go through these topics on TikTok and then go through maybe a few videos and maybe give my little spiel on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. Only because, and I say this not as a dating coach. I say this not as a dating expert. I say this not as a profession, not as any type of certified or esteemed collegial professional. I say this just as a dude who has been through marriage, been through divorce, been through some relationships, been through the hookup culture, been through the club culture. Um, Grew up as a teenager offline, grew up as a child offline, and now has been at the other side in age and in this technological revolution of people trying to communicate and trying to connect and having listening to the environment of people having difficulties trying to do that. So the most basics of things when it comes to two people just trying to connect, we're having a hard struggle just trying to do that. So I thought I'd at least, contribute just a little bit to the universe of social media and try and present some maybe solutions or some feedback. I don't want to offer way too much harsh criticism on either men or women or how they perceive things because, to be honest, you just didn't grow up in the era that I grew up in. I mean, all you understand is online. You've never lived life without the internet, and that's not a criticism. It's just the way it is. So I have to approach this keeping that in mind, only because you missed out on the era in which approaching strangers was society's biggest norm. Um, you were at the comic store, asking some random dude, "Hey, did the new whatever comic come in? Do you know about it?" Da, 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 da. You're standing in the movie theater line, waiting to buy tickets, having a discussion over what movie was or wasn't good with complete and total strangers. You're at the arcade playing video games versus a person or random person asks, "Hey man, you mind if I like play and join you?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." Like all of these like random interactions without social media and without posting anything, like all of these were on the daily. So we've gotten to a point where we're hyper connected to the technology, but we're disconnected from each other. So I wanted to kind of just see if I could offer some kind of objective analysis and then maybe find or think of a solution or something like that. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to be is constructive and constructive. Constructive. Let's be constructive and maybe find a way forward. I mean, um, I've been on. I'm not. But just before we get started, I wanted to let everyone know that I'm not. Even though I'm a software engineer, even though I've been doing this for 14 years, I've been recently on TikTok for about maybe 2 or 3 months. Or I've been on Instagram for about 2 or 3 months. So I'm not exactly up on all of the features and how the algorithms work and things like that. I've been on YouTube for over 17 years. So I know I'm familiar with YouTube. I'm more of a YouTuber. But when it comes to TikTok and Patreon, I'm a real kind of newbie. So you'll have to forgive me, but I don't know all the features and all the buttons and all the capabilities that all of these apps may or may not have. So I'm only kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So I hope you guys are able to hear videos well that I play. Of course, they're going to be short. Um, and I guess just comment and maybe offer up your opinions on it. Could be right, could be wrong. I take criticism very well, so I don't mind that. But let me see what we got here. The first thing was, let's see, men. Men not approaching. So, like I said, the videos I'm about to play, I'm on YouTube, so I'm sharing my screen on YouTube so we can all kind of see them here. But on these other platforms, like my mobile, for TikTok and Patreon, it won't be able to kind of show you anything. You're just seeing me at a microphone right now. But anyway, let's see what pops up and kind of see the first kind of results. I'm looking at the top results. So I mean, maybe you can follow along if you're on TikTok. I just put men on approaching, and then there's a top results. And I'm going to the second one that I found interesting that says send this to a man. So let's dig a little bit.
I just want to talk about the men not approaching women thing. If you are a man and you are watching this, you have to be not afraid to be rejected That's part of the game. That's part of being a man. You have to be okay with being rejected. You can't be a beta. You can't be a pussy. You have to go up to women and be fine if she says no. That's it. And it's not a reflection on you. She's just not into you if she says no. But go up to women. If you see a cute girl at the gym, like there's ways you can go up to women that aren't creepy. Like you can be like, hey, do you need a spot? Like say something about their form or just like say hi. Just say hi. It's so easy. If a girl's looking at you at a bar, go up to her. She wants you. If you see a cute girl at a bar, go up to her. You don't even have to buy her a drink. Just say hi. Compliment something about what she's wearing. Compliment like her hair, anything. It's not that hard. It's very easy. You just have to be not scared of getting rejected is the thing. That is part of being a man. So what? You want us to go up to you so the girls have to not be scared to get rejected? That's what it's come to? No. As a man, you're the one that has to put yourself out there and be okay getting rejected. That's the risk that you take by being a man. So man up, everyone. Pull up your pants, find your man card, okay? Because I think you lost it, and go up to a girl this weekend. I just want to talk.
Okay, I hope everyone heard that loud and clear. Um, so I mean, I'll be a man. Yeah, we know what being a man is, right? Like men know what being a man is, right? That it's not a book you read. It's just the body that you're growing up in, and uh, all of our lives we have you know been we know what rejection is, what it looks like, and how it feels. So it's not a very good feeling, and it's not a feeling that you seek, that anyone looks to seek out. Like, why would you actively put your time and effort into seeking rejection? Um, I mean, it doesn't really make sense in that regard. Now, as a man, like growing up as a teenager, back in my era, um, rejection was a muscle. It was a social muscle that you had to build, a callus that you had to build in order to keep pursuing women that you found attractive, or women that you liked, or women that you wanted to date. But women back then and girls back then were a lot more. They were a lot more gentle, and they were a lot more respectful, and they were a lot more kind with rejection. I'll give you an example from my era. I can explain a lot of things in modern dating in my era through the show Saved by the Bell. So, Saved by the Bell, hopefully everyone knows and understands what that show is and what it's about. But everyone kind of found themselves within that series of Saved by the Bell only because they can relate to one of the characters or the situation or the type of relationship that you had, or what you would willing to do in order to woo a woman or court a woman and go steady with her. So, I mean, within Saved by the Bell, rejection looks harsh when Lisa Turtle rejects Screech, and that type of humiliation has been going on in that dynamic for years, season after season, year after year, attempt after attempt, and nobody wants to be Screech Powers or Samuel Powers as a character of pursuing just the same woman and getting rejected over and over again, or going up to random women and such as Screech does, um, and getting rejected outright. That's not really the pleasurable experience that men are looking to pursue. We're looking to either be AC Slater or Zach Morris, meaning we're able to look presentable, be presentable, and know how to talk to women in order to start dating them and start winning them over. So, um, part, I mean, it's about being the man that you want to be, rather than being the man she would like you to be. Like being yourself. When we say be yourself, The issue is not a lot of people know who you really are because people tend to prejudge you based off of either the clothes you wear or how you approach or how you present yourself one day after the next, rather than take the time to get to know someone and then be attracted to the person that they are rather than the shell exterior of how they may present or may not present themselves. So, um, I mean, it's very easy to tell the other gender to, hey, you need to approach me while I sit here and do nothing. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to work either way. But we've been hearing from social media for a while a lot of these videos of women stating with one united voice that we don't want men to approach us, and we're afraid of men, and we're afraid of what they're going to do to us, some random stranger, some random guy. We've also been hearing the argument of women preferring to be attracted in the woods with a bear rather than a man. And what I find weird about the preference of being like trapped in the woods and picking the bear over the man is that the man is gonna most likely want to date you and most likely want to protect you, most likely want to get on your good side, most likely want to sleep with you, most likely want to have children with you, most likely want to impress you. So it's kind of weird how you would pick, you want a bear over a man when a man like kind of would find you attractive and kind of would, be chivalrous over a bear that, is more likely to rough you up or even kill you. So what we're experiencing now is just this like overwhelming fear of one another in the wild. Like outside your house is where you're going to find your next relationship. It's not going to be on any digital platform, hardly. I mean, we still need, there are a lot of biological things we need, and one of those things is chemistry. And chemistry is only something you can feel when you're interacting with someone in person. So I know that was a long rant. Let me get to the next video and go from there. Let's just see.
In Australia, men just don't approach you. You're not just safe. You're super mega giga safe. You're good. So I'm waiting for my Slavic man in Australia now, preferably with Australian passport.
It's an Australian one, so let's try this one.
This one's for the guys. Do you guys like not shoot your shot with women in person anymore? Because I did go on this date with this guy that I met with on Circa, and he was great. He was, good looking, had a good job. Like we had really good conversation. But he literally told me that he wouldn't have the confidence to go up to me if we were at a bar, which I don't really understand because he is a good looking guy. Like I don't understand why he wouldn't have the confidence to do so. So is this like a universal thing? Do men just not approach women as much anymore? This one's for the guys.
Yeah, I mean it's a universal thing. It's not just it's not just a social media trend. There like social media has contributed so much toxicity to the modern dating pool. It's not even funny. One of the things that I notice is that people are posting all of their real experiences and interpreting them and twisting them up in the wrong way and saying that this creeped me out or this interaction I had with somebody was worth posting, and it's really not. I mean, unless it's something that's illegal or somebody hit my car or someone assaulted me. I mean, just a random person saying hello to you or trying to make a pass at you isn't really worth a social media post. So um, I just think that we're just in this environment of oversharing everything, and nobody wants their business in front of the whole world just because they decided to take a risk and talk to a complete stranger and try and get to know them. So let's see.
I need to like crash out for a minute here. Okay, look, I'm not looking my best. I think my hair looks a little greasy. I just came from my son's playoff travel baseball game. I decided afterwards, because it's not my weekend, that I'm just gonna go grab a bite to eat. I didn't want to go sit at home by myself again. That felt depressing, and well, I'll just go sit at a bar and have dinner, and who knows, maybe I'll meet someone. No. First of all, there was the bar was at zero. There was no one even there, and then finally, towards the end, a somewhat decent, like attractive man comes in. He sits right next to me, looks at me. I could tell, I could feel the vibe that he was like interested, but he didn't say one word. He didn't say one word. Not the entire time. I sat there. I was like, kind of, angling my body in that direction, like, hey, I'm interested. If you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. I, was playing with my hair a little bit, like not too much, but just a little bit, a little flirty. I even had a hat, putting on my hat just in case I looked too greasy. Anyway, the point is, people say, oh, why do you go on dating apps? You can just meet someone in real life. Can you? Can you though? Can you actually meet someone in real life? I don't think so. Because you know what? I'm going to say it. Men in real life are pussies. I said what I said. I don't know. The situation, it feels a little hopeless. Like, I'm angling my body towards you. I don't have a ring on. It's a Sunday night. I'm sitting at a bar by myself. I'm flirting with you without saying anything. I can't quite make eye contact because you're next to me. Did I do something wrong? Let me know.
Okay. So, her caption was over 40 single men don't approach women in IRL in real life. So, dating over 40, that's a dating over 40 should get easier as you get older, only because you know who you are and what you want, and you know what you're looking for. I guess if you're in the era that we're in now, I guess that, the dating pool spans from like what, maybe your teenage years to the day you die, or the day you get married. And then the day you get married, you're out of the dating pool for pretty much until you're divorced, and then you're back in the dating pool, and so on and so forth. But I'm 44, so I can kind of relate somewhat. Also, let me speak on the bar situation real quick. Like, there was an era where DJs played really good music. The bar scene's really dope, relaxed, play pool, chill out, have a few beers with your friends. A man or a man with his best friend, his wingman, can approach a group of girls, a group of women, and buy them all a beer or a drink. And we'll be able to make small talk, maybe offer them a game of pool. We would all take turns talking to each other, getting to know each other, like that type of social interaction happened on the weekly, the daily, whenever you're out of work or whatever the case may be. But the social atmosphere of the bar has changed to where everyone's kind of in their silos, and people are only talking to people who they came with or who they're going to leave with. Um, the randomness of some guy just coming up to two girls or three girls, it's kind of it's really come it's come to a point where it's like we may not have what's the word, what are you kids using, riz or motion or the cool approach that we had back in our day. Me, I'm different. I could by myself approach five women and buy them all shots. I mean, I could back in those days. I worked a little bit harder at my full-time job, made overtime, opened up a tab, and then would have my bartender hook me up with some pretty good shots. So we're talking 2005. We're talking 20 years ago. We are not talking yesterday, but this is a different era. We're now living in an era where men are not trying to be labeled as either creeps or monsters or potential aggressors or something like that. So we all heard with one voice how women were upset with men and how they were being treated out in the world. So men listened, took note, and took action and behavior that said, we're going to take a giant step back. And until women with one same voice say, hey, why, we're ready to be open enough to accept your advances. Until you're just as loud with that same voice that said, back off, we don't want anything to do with you, that same voice is going to have to say, okay, you're ready, come and get some, have at it, shoot your shot, blah, 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 blah. It's going to have to be just as loud or louder. And grace is going to have to be given to men who shoot their shot who you're not attracted to. And even if you're not really attracted to men on first blush, it's not really our physical appearance most of the time. It's our personality and how we treat you and how we perceive things. And you have to really get to know us before you like us. We can see men, we see the woman we like. I think women have to know the man that they like rather than just see the man that they like. They have to know the man that they like. I think once a woman knows a man, then all of a sudden her feelings start to change. So, if we can we can get past our initial attraction triggers, we can dig deeper a bit by going out on dates and simple dates and just getting to know each other. So moving forward, let's see here. Let's go. Let's see what else is out there. I saw this one. I came across this one. This is probably something you guys have heard by now, but I'll just play it.
What's your type? Can you approach me?
Yeah,
Can you
that's
approach me? I'll give you eye contact, but it's just like I gave you 3 seconds, maybe half a second, but like you should know that that's enough. Like that is the welcome in. Like that should be it. That's just like if I look at you and I look away and like you can't smile, so you have to like make sure you don't really smile too much, because then that's cringe. That's like you might as well be approaching them. If now you walk up to me, it's like okay, you passed the first test. If your ass stands there for another half an hour, what's your type? Can you approach me?
Yeah, that's
So on this one, it's kind of, it's hard to explain this one, right? Only because it takes a lot of self-confidence to approach an attractive woman. It just is. For a man to approach a woman, we can approach like a teenager, right? Because there's no real interest there. We can approach a daughter, someone's daughter appropriately because there's no interest there, of course. And we can approach elderly women because there's no interest there, of course. But when it comes to like attractive women who we may want to sleep with or date or marry or have children with, there is a lot there. There's a lot of uh, um, insecure thoughts and feelings of not being good enough to approach. So I know this all too well. I something that women don't know, maybe 2025 women don't know. So I was younger too, a very very long time ago, and there was this girl that I had the hots for. Call it the hots, and I liked her for the longest time. Now, I don't think I ever told her directly. I don't think I was able to physically speak and engage in conversation with her, but I liked her through and through. Everybody knew I liked her. Everyone knew I had the hots for her. I bought her a silver bracelet one time, I think for like some special occasion, birthday, Christmas, one of those things. We were like in like fifth grade or something like that. Now, I never had the wherewithal to say hello and to say, how are you doing? Like, I may have spoken to her in passing maybe like a handful of times, but I could never bring myself to like shoot my shot. So, like, I still think about her even 35 years later. Men have women who girls who we should have approached, who we should have confessed our love for, who we should have said something, who we should have shoot our shot with. We have those girls in our minds all the time. It can be 20, 30, 40 years after the fact of meeting this girl or knowing this girl. That candle still holds that flame. It doesn't just extinguish or go away. Like we love for a long, long time. We'll just never say anything and we'll never approach, only because it's better to, I guess it's quote unquote emotionally safer to always love the idea of being with someone rather than taking a risk of being completely and totally rejected and having your dreams crushed. So you can always kind of love the idea of being with someone in your mind, in your head, but reality is, you can never bring yourself to tell the person how you feel because you just don't want to be hurt. I mean, um, it's what it is. So, uh, but definitely the more attractive you are to that person, the more intimidating they seem to you. It's just it's social. It's this probably goes back way back in anthropology, meaning um, throughout human history, women have always been attractive and gorgeous, and because they are attractive and gorgeous, we men are mentally frightened of like scaring or ruffling the feathers of this gentle creature who we call a woman. So, you know, it's just one of those things. So, yeah, let's get into this here. Get into another one of these. Yeah, it's a heck of a thing. This one too, I kind of saw this one and wanted to
Staring at the world through my rearview. Just looking back at the world from another level, you know what I mean?
Serious question for my mans out there. Why are you guys not approaching women? What is that about? What is that about? I have seen so many hot guys lately, and we make eyes, we exchange the look, We have the look, and then there's nothing else. I'm like, are you gonna come approach me? Hello, I don't want to be the one to approach you, okay? Because that's not my man's. My man's has, the balls that he has, and he's not afraid to come up to me and say something, say hello. So if you're a man out there, you guys have balls for a reason. Use them. And don't be afraid to approach women because we don't want to do that, This is just a pro tip, okay? Chime in. Serious question for my man's out.
Okay, so what I'll speak to this is saying hello shouldn't be just something that a man should be required to do. I mean, women can say hello just as well. And hello is kind of harmless. Hi is kind of harmless. For my job, I gotta say hello to people, and I tell people good afternoon or good morning depending on what time it is, or good evening. Uh, I'm in pretty much customer service, so we have to be. It's not that we have to be; it's just that we should be. I mean, you've seen customer service people who don't belong there, who have an attitude problem or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I pride myself on treating people with respect, saying hello, getting what they need, and making sure that they can enjoy the rest of their day and that they have a pleasurable experience when dealing with me, right? Now, for women, it's different. Women out there in the world and in the wild um, used to complain and do complain about being approached by random men. And the problem with that is random men may be attracted to you at any point in time. And because they're shooting their shot, doesn't mean that they're creepy or disgusting or nasty or doing something inappropriate. Um, when they start harassing you or trying to physically lay hands, that's something that's crossing a bridge too far. But when we're talking about a social interaction, such as just saying hello or saying hi, or maybe trying to stop and get your attention so they can have a minute of your time and see if you're interested in a date or exchanging information in order to maybe go from there. That is not something worth like kind of posting and making a big deal about. It just isn't. So I mean, you should, as a person, go with the flow and find out if you're interested in being treated a certain way, right? I mean, if we're going to be the ones to make the first move, which is a requirement by us men, then you have to be open and receptive to all types of approaches, and not all of them are going to be rude or hostile or nasty. I mean, they're going to be really cordial, they're going to be really subtle, and when it comes to women making the first move, I don't mind women making the first move, and most men don't either. So this thing where, well, do you expect me to make the first move? I mean, well, if you feel confident to do so, and if you feel ready to do so, then do it. I mean, I don't understand why women put this burden requirement on men to make the first move or approach when we need choosing signals, and we need mutual attraction needs to be mutual. It can't just be one-sided all the time. It needs to be mutual. We need to know that you're interested, and if you're not, or if we catch wind that you're not, then we're not going to approach. Like, you giving us the side eye is not enough. That's not a signal. That's just you giving us a side eye. When two people share a same space, such as a gym or a building or a restaurant, and they make direct eye contact, and the only thing that they can see are each other's eyes, that's going to be a choosing signal, meaning in a room or a crowded room full of people, I'm looking at you and you're looking at me, and there's a reason, and we're mutually attracted to each other. And that is when a man is going to try and find a way to approach you. He will try to find a way to approach you. If you're with someone else or some friends, that may not be so easy to maneuver, but he will try. He's thinking about developing a way to say hello or to communicate with you, especially if you're locking eyes in a shared space. So let's see. This is let's see. When not to approach women. That's a weird one. Let's see. All of these are mostly comments, so let's move on to the next one, which is dating in 2025. Let's try that. All right. First video, dating in 2025. If you're on TikTok, of course, you can follow along by just typing in the word in the search dating 2025. And I'm just going to play the first video that pops up and just go from there.
Remember when I said that dating in 2025 is weird? Okay, yeah, I promised y'all a story time, so here it is. So let me tell y'all how about 10 years ago, I was talking to this guy that I used to work with. And we were talking for a little bit. I know we went out to eat a couple times. I think we were supposed to even go on a vacation, but we didn't. And I really cannot remember why we stopped talking or what happened, whatever. But I know that I was talking to him shortly before I met my man who I built a family with. So anyway, this guy appears in my Instagram DMs 10 years later. Now, last I heard about him, he was like married and moved and all that. Like, cool, good for you. But he just appeared into like my DMs, and I was just like, oh, like, hey, how you been? You know, and I told him, like, the last I heard you were like married and you moved. And he's like, well, I'm divorced now and I moved back. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, well, can I take you out to eat? Can I take you on a date? And I kind of like ignored his first question, I guess, because I was just like into the conversation. So then he asked me again. He's like, well, can I just take you out to eat as a friend? And I said, oh, yeah, sure. Why not? So then we start trying to plan when we're going to go out to eat. And I tell him, like, you know, I'm a single mom, so I can only go out. Like, I need to get a babysitter. Like, I can't just get up and go. Like, I got to plan it. I need a babysitter. So I was just about to go on vacation. So I was like, I can't do it this weekend or next weekend, but maybe like mid-September, like give it some time where I could plan a sitter and we could go mid-September. And he goes, okay, cool. Then he starts asking me like, well, where do you want to go eat? Do you want me to pick you up? Do you want to meet there? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, when that time comes, like, we'll cross that bridge. But like right now, like, I don't know. So then he starts sending me messages like, well, do you have your passport? And I'm like,
okay, let me just stop it right there. Only because from what I'm hearing, this is more of a personal experience dealing with a particular type of man that she used to be in a somewhat relationship with. So it's about 6 minutes, so I didn't want to go through the whole thing. I'll say, and now she's a mom, and now this other person was married, but now they're divorced. So that's a complicated relationship that was probably sounds like a situationship that became something but didn't for one reason or another. I'm pretty sure it had to be an argument that both of them just decided to walk away from, or one ghosted the other and one fell out of interest with the other, and then now here we are 10 years later. You get a notification that somebody you knew or somebody you knew is on your, Instagram, or you should follow them or something like that. Or however that goes. But it sounds like they were together for a minute. They both found someone else to be with. She found someone else, so did he. Now they're talking again, and now they're making plans to go to dinner. So he's divorced. She still, I guess, is with the same guy that she built a family with. I'm not sure. She'll probably explain that later on in the video, but I didn't want to, put you guys through that. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in from what I see already, and I didn't want to get too long into that, only because whatever. I'm not sure what the streaming rules are or how to approach or what have you. I just wanted to try and get some shorter videos so I can have some immediate feedback on what's going on. Let's see. Why does dating feel almost impossible in 2020?
So, why does dating feel almost impossible for men in 2025?
Dating feels almost impossible for a lot of men in 2025 because, you look at the average guy. The average guy isn't getting matches on dating apps. He's not getting stopped or, getting a lot of affection from women in his daily life. He probably doesn't have a whole lot of friends. And so he's online and he's seeing all of these gorgeous women, some of whom aren't even real with AI now. There's a lot of AI girls out there, edited photos and stuff like that. And they're just suffering this constant barrage of them feeling inadequate by what their life experience is teaching them versus what they're seeing online, which is like a lot of, attractive women or couples or stuff like that. So they just kind of feel beaten down by it, and it really does suck being the average guy who isn't taking control of their life in today's day and age. There's absolutely no sympathy for them. But the good news is that if you do choose to rise above this and do choose to actually start bettering yourself and start doing the things that is going to give you a result with women, then it can be possible to be successful. And the bar is pretty low because most guys don't try. Most guys just, wallow in self-pity, and they take themselves out of the dating market because they think that it's not worth it for them. But in reality, I don't care who I'm talking to. If you're watching this, like, you absolutely can change your circumstance.
So
Okay, so that was about a good minute of a back and forth about dating in 2025 and then how men feel, or average men feel, in 2025. And I can relate to that. There's so 20 years ago in 2005, I worked at a call center doing technical support for internet service provider, of course, right? So I made pretty mediocre money. I made money that was barely enough to get by. So I put in a lot of overtime at work because people would give up their shifts, hours, and I would suck them all up, and work overtime, 40 plus hours, especially on weekends. So I had a lot of money back then to throw around, like an extra 500 or something like that. So I would be able, my friend and I would be able to go to bars. We went out. The life and the lifestyle back then was different. We went out seven. Was it not? No, was it seven? Yeah, we got up to maybe 5 days a week. We had a place to go every single day of the week, and the weekends we would have dedicated bars and clubs to go to, in order to kind of for the music and the ladies and the drinks and all that. We went to a pool house on Mondays. Tuesdays, I believe, was this place called Roxy's. Wednesdays was Graham Central Station when we had it here in San Antonio, Texas, because it's like ladies' night there. Thursdays we went to the Coast. There's this bar called the Coast, and on Thursday nights they had dollar drinks, so dollar specials or whatever. So it was like, we called it Dollar Make You Holla. So it's the Coast on Thursdays, and on Fridays was it was going to be a new bar that we hadn't tried. It was going to be we're going around to different bars and find out if there's a good spot to go here, here, here. And then Saturdays we would go to this place called the Falls. It was a nice venue, live bands, DJ in the back, outside patio, things like that. And on Sundays, we would go to this place called Joe's Volcano. And it was a younger crowd because it was 18 years and up that can go there. But we went there strictly for pretty much, it's Sunday, there's nothing to do, but this place is open. It plays some good 80s, so we'll go and chill out in there. So we had a place to go every single night, day of the week. So we would approach women like every single night we went out. So yeah, we were muscular men when it came to dating. Like we weren't players, but we were let me take that back. We were players. We were players in a different game. We were. We took initiative. We bought drinks. We would sometimes be in competition with each other to make sure that we were the ones buying the drinks. Like, nah, man, it's on me. Okay, all right. We're like, okay, you know what? So we decided that instead of to cut the argument of who's going to be buying these girls drinks, we would take turns. First person that we bought drinks for, and if it's on my tab, then he gets the next set of girls or the next round on his tab, and we would just bounce back and forth like that. We had game plans as to how we would kind of like, show off our kind of baller status, even though we were ballers, but you get the idea. But yeah, it was a different type of game 20 years ago than it is now. So approaching like five women like is almost as a single guy is almost kind of unheard of these days. Hell, men aren't approaching women right now, right? But yeah, I could be. I mean, let's just say I'm working that same job. I got that same kind of money. The confidence would be there, but the lines, all my lines still work. I mean, some lines that you come up with when you're dating and when you're out there is timeless. But yeah, the initial approach, the initial walk up, the initial, hey ladies, what's going on? Just well that, and I do voice stuff too. So I can do cheap impressions, and that kind of works as an in for a conversation to drop in on the random conversation. But anyway, enough of me ranting again. Let's go to another kind of thing. Let's see what we got.
Okay, so I'd like to switch the narrative because most of you are agreeing with my dating in 2025 and what it's like. However, flipping the narrative, men, tell me how awful women are in 2025 in dating. And I want to hear like the good stories. Don't disappoint me.
Okay. I don't think it's a matter of women being kind of quote unquote awful. Like the behavior is more intolerable. But I don't know if that has anything to do with making an overall judgment of saying they're so just god awful. No, women can change. They can become better people, just like men can. Uh, I just think that uh, it's going to take some introspection from both genders to understand what they really want and how to really get it, and how you're going to go about trying to pursue it. Um, there's no real proper way to approach. There isn't. There's just what you've got. Men who find women very attractive find themselves stuttering or not able to finish or make coherent thoughts. I'm not sure if you've, as a woman, if you've ever experienced it, but sometimes you're so like jaw-droppingly gorgeous. Men just stutter and can't even think straight. That actually does happen. That is a phenomenon that does occur in nature. Like I say a lot of smart things. I know a lot of technological terms. I know a lot of stuff, about a lot of stuff. But when it comes to that woman who's just like in your face and she's just the most attractive thing you've ever seen, it's hard to put a sentence together. So there's that dynamic, but not every woman is like that. So let's not get that twisted. But yeah, I wouldn't say women are awful. I just think that they can be a lot more graceful when dealing with men, meaning no thank you, or I got a man, or whatever excuse that you want to use to not deal or talk to the man you want to not deal or talk with. The disrespect and the shaming and the humiliation is something that every man can like live without. I think that if we start seeing more random, I think that we need to make videos. I don't know who's gonna make them. I'm not a, well, I guess I am, but I don't have that kind of thing where I can take my camera and start making videos with people and I don't have that kind of thing, you know. But if someone does have that kind of thing to where they like to make videos or random videos, I would start to release videos of just someone being kind and respectful and having dialogue with random women and seeing how the interaction goes. And then we can kind of gauge for ourselves whether or not women have this grace or if they're um, all about just, you know, naming and shaming men who try to approach them. And that's kind of what is going to be our barometer as when, you know, when it's safe for men to go out and start speaking to women again, or, you know, randomly again. So enough of me rambling again. Let's see what else we got here. Dating in 2025. Okay, let's see this one.
I was FaceTiming a man, I know, gross, last night. A man that's trying to court me, if you will. And he said something about how he wanted to get a laundry service. He was like, I think I'm going to get a laundry service to start doing my laundry for me. It's like $200 a month. They'll pick it up, drop it off, folded, you know, all that shit. And I was like, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. I was like, that's one thing I could do. It would be like hire a cleaning person, hire someone to do my laundry because I don't want to do that shit. And he goes, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, so you're not domesticated like that? Bitch, can you build a fucking house? I'm sorry, I'm not domesticated like that because I don't want to do your fucking laundry. I don't want to do my own laundry. Why would I do yours?
I don't know why, but I feel like she really like misinterpreted a joke. That sounds more like a joke to me. That sounds more like him poking, like, you know, oh, you're not domesticated like that. You don't enjoy like doing laundry. Like it sounds more like he's playing with her. Like he's just playing with her. That's kind of what I got from that. And I think she took personal offense, like read into that, like it's a judgment, but it wasn't a judgment. I think he's just more like playing with her, trying to get like a laugh or trying to get like a response. But yeah, he was totally fucking with you. That's what it sounds like. I mean, but hey, you took it the way you took it, and he gave it the way he gave it. But yeah, it sounds like he was just fucking with it. But I mean, anyway, let's see. Right next to that one, let's try that.
If they wanted to, they would. Except that's not necessarily true, is it? Because there are a lot of reasons why people don't. You know, fear of rejection, vulnerability, insecurity. And these are all issues I feel like that could be worked through with simple communication. People are so afraid of being vulnerable these days because somebody from the past has burnt them. And instead of working through these issues that they developed from being burnt, they stumble through life projecting on these issues onto other people and creating these dysfunctional relationships with other people. And I genuinely believe that's why I have such a hard time accepting no response as a response at times, is because there's a reason, and I want to get to the bottom of it, and I want to work through it because I've been there. But people are just too afraid of simple communication, which ultimately leads to this fear of commitment, is what it all boils down to. It's a hard time to date in 2025.
Okay, so I mean, okay, she's talking about venting her frustrations and how hard it is and tricky it is to date in 2025 because people are, you know, um, fearing commitment and fearing rejection and all that. A lot of fear running around, right? Um, Taking chances is the most risk behavior I guess it's a risk analysis, right? It's a risk assessment. But when it comes to relationships, they happen naturally. They happen between two people who like each other. But it all starts with an initial look or gaze or recognition. Either she sees him or he sees her. But what happens after that is they start to see each other. When two people see each other, they want to pursue something. There's something there. They both feel it. You can't explain it, but it's there and it needs to be, explored, whether or not it can work or not. But that spark between two people, I don't hear it coming out of this woman's mouth. Not saying that I'm judging her, but what I'm hearing is the lack of experience in the simplicity of just being attracted, genuinely being attracted to someone, or someone being genuinely attracted to her, and her exploring that and taking it further to see where it can go. I don't, what I'm hearing, it's not what I'm hearing, it's what I'm not hearing. I am not hearing some of the women who are posting talk about the initial spark that they felt with someone and how they had butterflies and how they talk on the phone for hours with this one person, getting to know them like like I grew up with. Like yeah, I'm comparing myself because I'm 40 and I'm old and I'm crusty, but talking on the phone to someone is the second most intimate way of communicating after in person. So we disconnected so much to where we're not even talking to people, we're texting them. And texting is about as disconnected as you can get because you cannot express yourself through selected text on a digital keyboard better than you could on a phone in the inflection and sound of your voice. So when you're talking to somebody, it either needs to be in person or over the phone in order to get a more deeper level of understanding of who it is you're dealing with and whether or not you want to pursue something. So there isn't, even over the phone, you can have a spark or you can have some sort of sensation to where you really feel where this person's coming from and you want to like dig deeper and know more. But what I'm hearing is that you're coping with the disconnect, the social disconnect that you want to pursue, but for some reason or another, you're afraid of what may or may not happen. And that's a part of taking that risks. Like some bad things may happen, but before bad things happen, a lot of good things happen along the way. So that's the things that you want to pursue and get used to. That's the real reason people want to be in a relationship because it is a good experience. So for however long it lasts. Let's see. Let's go on to next. Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Let's try this one.
I'm realizing something. One of the biggest turnoffs with any kind of dating that I have is when like a dude invests like a lot of conversations and time into you and then just randomly disappear, only to like come back a couple weeks later. Hey, how's it been? No, you just undid everything because now I feel like you don't like me or you're a hoe. I'm just a girl. I just a girl. I'm realizing something.
Well, she's pretty funny, a little bit, but I guess I don't know. When it comes to like you're talking to somebody for a while, it's going real good, you talk all the time, and then all of a sudden somebody stops communicating, and then the communication just breaks down altogether for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden a few weeks later, like, hi, what's up? And they're back in your DMs. Like, okay, fine. We all go through stuff. We don't know what's going on with the other person, but we're only hoping to get caught up with what's been going on. If we're catching up, then we should pick up where we left off. It doesn't mean that we can't be friends anymore, we shouldn't talk anymore, or we shouldn't pursue this anymore. It's just one of those things that happens in more digital relationships rather than in personal relationships. What happens in digital relationships is that the person stops texting, like the good morning text or whatever text that they're used to be sending and receiving. Um, what's more personal about a relationship is the phone call. If the phone calls stop, that's something to be concerned of. But if it's social media or if it's just texting, it's so, removed from a personal experience. Why are you really tripping over it? Because you yourself can reach your cell phone and be like, hi, or hey, or what's up. I mean, we're still putting this burden of men on men to reach out, to always have to reach out to you rather than you reach out to them. So, I mean, there's no real um, reason why there should be this gap where neither one of y'all are reaching out to each other to say hello. I mean, that's going to be on both of y'all. Communication's a two-way thing, not a one-way thing. So, I mean, that's all I really have to say about that one. I mean, I can't put all of that on him. I mean, you can reach out and say hi and keep the conversation going. No reason to really do otherwise. Let's see. Let's try. Let's try this.
No, you're so sexy. Don't turn to ChatGPT to summarize all of your books and lose the ability to have the patience to read a whole book yourself and engage with it critically and put it through the lens of your brain and your lived experience rather than the lens of an AI that is created, founded based on all of the human biases that we already have, and also created by people who have a vested interest in giving power over to fascism and reducing the population's ability to critically engage with information. Please don't do that. No, you're so sexy.
No. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let me see what this one is.
I need to choose my joy and my sanity when dating. And doing both of those things made such a difference for me. Part of choosing my joy was continuing to date and put myself back out there in the dating pool. There were definitely times where it felt like it would be easier to just give up, to pretend like a relationship and dating is not something that I want, to give into the narrative that so many people in general and so many people online want to sell, which is that dating is inherently cooked and it's over and it's trash and we should all just stop. I had to finally be honest with myself and be like, okay, but acknowledging that and living in that reality does not give me joy. The reality that gives me joy is when I actually date and find people who are also in the same headspace, because it is possible. And also I feel like now in this year of choosing myself and choosing my sanity and choosing joy, it has made it so much easier for me to identify the people who are not giving me joy and see them out. In other years when I've dated, I was just so much more willing to put up with behavior that stressed me out, honestly, with people who stressed me out and who were not bringing me joy on a regular basis. And now I'm finally at a point where I can identify that and be like, there is someone else. There is someone else who is a better fit for me. And I'm so glad that I have gotten to this place, because I do feel like it's made the last few months of my dating journey so much more enjoyable. And I'm finally at a place where I'm understanding why people enjoy dating. I need to choose.
Okay. Well, this one's got a lot more depth into it. She understands more about the dating process, what it is and isn't supposed to be. I mean, my only disagreement would be the joy part of it, because yeah, you can weed out people who don't bring you joy and don't bring, happiness and fulfillment into your life. But the people who you hold close the most, they're not going to always bring you joy. They're going to disappoint you. They're going to make you angry sometimes. But cutting them out of your life isn't the solution. It's pretty much solving the problem that you have at the time with the person that you're dealing with. That's the solution. Always running away from a person that you don't like or disagree with doesn't solve anything. It only shows that your ego or your intellect or your emotional intelligence is very fragile. Meaning, when someone challenges you or you're being challenged, you're not able to step up to meet that challenge or stand on any type of foundation to defend what it is that you believe or what it is that you're looking for or whatever principle that has made you you. When it's about, well, you said something and I didn't like it, so therefore I'm gonna block you on all these apps. I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm just gonna walk away and be silent. There's no power in that. There's only power in being able to take something that was once toxic and wipe it away clean to where the relationship is solid and the communication is sound and all of the garbage is at the landfill and no longer in your life. Getting rid of garbage doesn't mean getting rid of people. It means getting rid of issues and topics and subjects that you may not agree with, but don't talk about them. Why are you talking about them? If it's your principles, such as getting married or having children or something like that, and you're running into non-negotiables and you're running into an ideology that might seem harmful, fine, get away from it. And maybe 2-3 years down the line, that person may change their ideology based off of new information or based off of lived experiences. But yeah, running away from a person 100% and just ghosting them doesn't seem to solve anything. It's not making anything better. I would rather confront what is bothering me or what I feel is disturbing rather than run away from it. We have to, part of being an adult are doing the things that we don't really want to do, but we have to do in order to live out the rest of our lives, not being in fear. So I would say that to this video. But I like this video because at least this woman was really in depth and does actually see the value of dating in 2025 and it's not cooked. So it's nice to know. Let's see.
So I'm single, and recently I was talking to this guy and getting to know him a little. He proceeds to ask me the question, "What's your favorite color?" I paused, looked at him, and I said, "Are you being serious right now?" He, in fact, was being serious. He wanted to know my favorite color. I literally was like, I didn't think people actually asked that question. I thought it was like a hypothetical. And honestly, I was offended. Like, this is really what dating is? Can ask me a more meaningful question? So
I'm going to be like honest about that. When you're getting to know someone, when you want to know the small details and intricacies of that person, because behind asking someone their favorite color, that can correspond to the clothes you want to buy them, to the car you want to buy them, to the house you want to buy them, to the ring that they want to use to propose. Like all of these small details are things that men need to study about women in order to make them happy. So the more honest you are, with men on this date or when we date you, the more we can, make you happy. We can buy your favorite thing in your favorite color. So yes, I think you need to answer the question honestly, no matter how simplistic it is, only because it allows us to better get to know you and cater our our behaviors to your liking. So yes, your favorite ice cream. Why am I asking you your favorite ice cream? Because if I'm at the store one day and I buy your favorite ice cream and you're coming over my house and we're chilling, you can look into my freezer, find your favorite ice cream, and have at it. So the smallest thing, like, can go a long way. I mean, to suit your comfort, just be honest. I mean, he's asking you a direct question that corresponds with your potential relationship. Just answer the question and move on. I mean, I don't really see a reason to make a TikTok video about it, but 2025, I'm a. You see this gray hair? I mean, maybe you can't because it's like, hang on, maybe if I make myself bigger or something. Anyway, it's there. Uh, we're moving on. We're moving on. My tiger stripes are there. Let's see.
But guys will keep girls as friends, even though they're like kind of pursuing them, but they don't make it obvious, and they don't say that they're pursuing them, but they're texting them all the time. They're hanging out a lot. They hang out by themselves. They are pursuing them, but without the pressure of having to pursue them or the responsibility of like actively pursuing them. And so now girls are left wondering, what does it mean? Does he like me? Am I just his friend? He acts like he likes me more, but then he also acts like I'm just his friend.
Can I be honest with you?
Absolutely.
In my grandmother's time, men were literally going to wars, and my grandfather approached my grandmother and said, that's the one. And he did the right thing, and he married her, and they had 50 years of a beautiful marriage. And I just think all of this stuff of like, I'm gonna keep her as a friend, and I'm not ready, and I just think it's so weak, and that's the truth. I think there is a attack of weakness, and it's coming from the other kingdom.
But guys,
Okay, I've been hearing this thing where women are talking about how men used to go to war. Like I'm not sure. I guess I'm not really sure why we're bringing up what men used to do or still do. Men still do go to war. I mean, I know war is more technologically advanced with drones and things that are flown by remote, but people who went to war, I'm not going to speak on that only because I've never been to war, so I don't want to speak on behalf of someone else. But from stories I've heard from them, they're not the same. They're not the same people that left. When you leave and go to war and fight the war and come home, you're not the same person. Like there are a lot of things about you that has fundamentally changed as a person that you'll never be able to get over. But what I'm hearing in this video is just this description of masculinity. She's speaking about masculinity was at its peak or at a crescendo where men who came home from war were sure about what they wanted. They had this revelation about how they were going to live their lives, the rest of their lives. They were going to choose one woman and stick with that woman and create a family, marry, do right by. But the thing is, that woman wasn't posting things on TikTok and Instagram. That grandmother wasn't looking for a high value man or top 10% of man who was 6 feet, who made 6 figures. He didn't, he wasn't required to go to the gym. That grandfather wasn't required to spend $200, $300 on the first date. That man wasn't required to make sure that her happiness came first and this and that and the other. When he went to war and selected your grandmother was receptive enough to understand the full value of just being with a man. It wasn't about him being a soldier. It was about him being just a man. And being a man was good enough back then those days, and being a woman was good enough back in those days. And we have to get back to seeing each other and knowing each other's value just by looking at each other rather than trying to size each other up and measure each other with artificial yardsticks and measuring sticks that don't matter anyway. Your grandmother was not looking at his wallet at all and didn't give a damn. And your grandfather wasn't looking to check if she had any plastic surgery or the right correct hair or makeup, or was wearing the right kind of dress, or I mean, your grandma didn't have an OnlyFans. So, I mean, come on. Who are we kidding? Times were different back then. This was without social media. This was without quote unquote bare minimum talk or whatever that crap is. This was before any of the things that we're dealing with now, which is an unrealistic expectation upon both parties. So, just saying. And it's not a knock on the messenger. I'm knocking the message, not the messenger. The message needs to be refuted and restated, not the messenger. I mean, how women think and how men think in dating in 2025 is their experience and it's their opinion, and they're entitled to it. But I'm here about the message and not the messenger. So I don't know her. I don't have any beef or anything like that. I'm just an opinion on it. So let's see. There's some fun videos on here too. Dating in 2025, they try to pretend to be someone else, or they'll, kind of do this little play act thing. Or I'm not sure what that's about, but I guess it's entertaining. So let's see. Let's try dating this economy. Is that what? It looks like she's dancing. So okay, not too much there. Oh yeah, and if you're on TikTok, you can like the video and tap the screen and all that. I hear other people say it, so I'm saying it too. But also like and share, and someone who you think might get a kick out of whatever it is I'm doing here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so on this one, dating in 2025, it looks like the rest are going to just be texts. So let me try the next topic, which is dating requirements. Okay, let's try the top. We can just try the first video and see what happens.
These are some of the requirements to date. Mwah. Number 1, emotional maturity. If you can't communicate like an adult, don't even bother. Number 2, I need consistency. Not random energy, not hot and cold BS. Consistency, okay? Number 3, you need to make me feel safe. That means you don't flirt with other girls, you don't compare me to other girls, you don't disrespect me and try to disguise it as fucking honesty. Number 4, you need to choose me very clearly. To date me, you need to claim me, babes. I'm not an option and I will never be an option. I'm not some backup, okay? You either choose me or you don't. Bye. Number 5, you need to respect my sensitivity, okay? I'm soft because I choose to be soft. Not everyone gets that privilege of seeing my soft side. So flipping handle my heart carefully and properly. Number 6, match my loyalty. If you still need attention from other women, you're just not ready for me. You're really not. And you need to stay as far away from me as possible. Number 7, you need to have depth. If everything about you is surface level, honestly, I won't even give you the time of day. I really wouldn't. I need to be mentally stimulated. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Number 8, you need to support my goals. If my success threatens you, move aside. Number 9, bring me peace, not problem, not drama. I'm just not entertaining emotional chaos anymore. I'm so over that. Anyway, that's it. If you can't meet any of these, don't fucking bother. These are some of the
Okay, I found that interesting. Everyone is able to have their own requirements. That's fine. The only difference is that I think in certain spaces when we hear all of these lists of requirements, we also know that these are requirements for people that you don't like as women, right? Because when it comes to the right man, those requirements go out the window. There are no requirements when it comes to finding the man that you're attracted to and you have chemistry with. You don't list requirements. You don't care about requirements. Requirements who? Requirements what? What are you talking about? So we see this, when I see this, I see this as a method of coping with being approached by unattractive men or men that she's not attracted to. So, I mean, rules are for people who you want to be able to stave off or keep at bay, while you think that someone who meets these requirements or is willing to meet these requirements are going to approach you hat in hand, asking to date you or asking you out on a date. But the problem is, what I'm not hearing, like I said, what like nothing regarding intimacy, nothing regarding like chemistry, nothing regarding what she's willing to do for him, nothing regarding any type of emotional intelligence on her part and what she brings to the proverbial relationship table. So when we're talking about requirements, like like in a relationship, in a real relationship, the only requirements is that you want him and he wants you. That's the only requirement. To make a relationship work, to make a marriage work, you need to want each other. If one stops, the relationship fails. It's a two-person type of entity. You know, that's what a relationship is. So, I mean, you have to have a fundamental understanding of what it takes to establish a relationship. You don't get to like determine or dictate the rules of how a date or relationship is going to go. It is up to both of you to determine these things. So, that's my 2 cents. Let's see. Let's try. Let's try the next one. You know.
I've seen a few people do like their unhinged dating requirements, so I thought I'd do mine. My first one is that Sundays are my day. He's not really out with his friends. Like, we visit his family, but Sundays are my day. He has all the passwords to my accounts. I have all the passwords to his. We don't really check each other's phones often. But when it does, it's just kind of like a, hey, can I see your phone? And it's just a handover kind of thing. My man will not drive a girl or guy home without me knowing who it is, and knowing the situation of like what's going on. So if I'm not there, it doesn't happen without me knowing and approving it. If we're going out on a date and we're taking pictures, I choose the outfits. I get final say. If he wants, like, has something specific he wants to wear, I will let him have input, but I make final choices. I don't carry anything up the stairs that is heavier than my purse. If it is heavier than my purse, he carries it. He gets me new flowers every time my flowers die. If my flowers are dead for more than a week, I get mad at him. Both of us on our social media don't tend to add people we don't know without like running it past the other person first. I will always put his family first over mine, no matter what the situation be. My family wasn't safe for me growing up, and so they don't deserve the same energy that his family has given me since the minute they met me. So we will always be catering to his family before mine. I have trouble sleeping a lot, so if I am having trouble sleeping in the middle of the night, I will wake him up and he has to stay up until he can get me back to sleep, and I'm asleep for at least 15 minutes before he can fall back asleep. He's allergic to cats. I love cats. We have 3. He's not allowed to close the door when he's using the bathroom. Every day he gets paid is date night. He's classically trained in cooking, so he cooks all the meals. I'll clean his whole house top to bottom, but I want him to cook. I've seen a few people.
Okay, it's an interesting list. Like when you're describing these requirements, like when you think about what you want to require someone to do, it means that they have to do it all the time, or unless the relationship is either in trouble or over or can't sustain. And all of these like micro requirements and these kind of specific actions that you want to place on somebody who is genuinely interested in you, um, they're going to want to maybe fulfill these requirements while trying to either, initially sleep with you or date you for a while. But in a serious relationship, those requirements are probably going to fall by the wayside because a person is not going to be able to live up to your requirements each and every day as part of the job, because a relationship is a job, but it's a job that both of you need to want to be in. And requiring someone else to perform for you each and every time is sometimes going to be um, unreasonable. It's unreasonable by any standard. For me to have a girlfriend and to require her to rub my feet because I am 6'3" and I do have some back issues, but to put my comfort at somebody else's expense is completely wrong, and it defies body autonomy. Meaning, um, we hear women claim all the time, "My body, my choice." Well, the same goes for men. You don't get to tell me what I need to do physically with my body in order for you to be happy or content with a relationship in which both of you want to be in. Like, like if I'm in a relationship with the girl I want to be in a relationship with, I'm going to do things for her because I want to do them and I know it would make her feel good or please her. Not because I want anything back, not because I can hold it over her head during my birthday or Christmas time to negotiate something down the line later, but because I genuinely want to make her feel good. And that's what a relationship really is. It's about two people who want to be together and make each other feel good by performing small or large gestures. And those are not requirements. Let's see.
I've seen a lot of people do like icks for men and stuff like that and icks for dating, so I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. This is my list of requirements for men I'm going to date if I'm going to date again. If no one matches these, I'm going to be the crazy rat lady. Not gonna stoop to cat lady, but crazy rat lady. So the first thing that we have there is a job. Plain and simple, you need to have employment. If you are an adult and you don't have a job, like if you have valid reason, cool. But if you just don't have a job because you're lazy, apparently this is a real problem for me that it had to be on a list. A license. I really don't care if you don't have a car, but I don't want to always be the one driving home from drinks and having to be the DD. So you need to have a license to drive my vehicle. Good with cold sore reality. I get cold sores. I'm healing from one right now. And I had an ex that would stress me the fuck out and then get mad when I got cold sores because they're caused by stress. Did it to himself. Fuck that guy. But anyways, good with burlesque. If you guys don't know burlesque, you get up on stage, it's fun. You do a little shaky shake. If you're not okay with me going up on stage and having fun with a bunch of other performers and shaking what I got, but knowing that I'm coming home with you at the end of the night, sorry, bye. Like, it's just something fun to do. Can get along with my eldest first cousin. He's a handful. I love him most times, but he's a handful. If you can't get along with him, you're probably not going to get along with all of my family. He's probably the most difficult one to get along with. So, like, as long as you tolerate him, we're good. That's what we do. Won't try to take control of my appearance. Obviously, I got, like, tattoos, I got piercings, and I have colored hair, and I'm going to want to do more of that. And if you try to stop that or control what I do, like, obviously, like, if you feel uncomfortable with what I'm wearing out in public, talk to me about it. But also, that's kind of weird too, depending on what I'm wearing. Encourages me to dance. I really like dancing, but I get very self-conscious. And obviously you don't have to dance with me, but I'd prefer it because it makes me feel more comfortable. If you can dance with me like an idiot, fuck yeah. Like, that's just it. Doesn't want kids. Going in, just doesn't want kids. Or is like unsure. Because if further down the line we discuss it, it's good. But initially just I've seen a lot of people do like icks for men and stuff like that.
That one was a little low, so hopefully you guys were able to hear it. But from what it sounds like, requirements has to be okay with what I do, right? Let me fix this thing. Has to be okay with what I do. Like I'm a burlesque dancer. She's I don't know about this one. This one is, excuse me, from my impression, I think it's the issue is that from what I see on your list of requirements, you want the man to accept you and what you like to do and who you are and not try and control or judge you, but you want to place burdens on this man by saying you have to have a job and you have to have a license, as if like if he doesn't have either one of those things, he doesn't qualify for a date or isn't good enough to be in a relationship with you. And then not only that, like he has to be supportive of who you are and what you do, but I'm not hearing, again, it's not what I am hearing, it's what I'm not hearing. I'm still not hearing from any of these women so far of what they're willing to do for their men. Like there is no like reciprocation. I don't know when, but hopefully in 2026, maybe we can get a whole lot of videos of women talking about what kind of stuff they're willing to do for men or want to do for men or have done for men. So they got really good at it. You know what? I'm really good at rubbing feet. I'm really good at rubbing your back. I'm really good at rubbing your muscle. I'm really good at cooking. I'm really good at cleaning. I'm really good at, finding out the spots that make you tickle or whatever. I'm a really good listener. I'm a really good student, meaning I can listen to you teach me about new stuff and then I can do my own thing and come to you and if I have any questions and be a really good student to learn something that I don't already know. I'm a really good friend. I'm a really good this, I'm a really good that. And I think that I could improve your life and I can make you better and I could bring these things to the table. Like we're not hearing, well, I'm not hearing. I think men aren't hearing enough of these things. Men aren't hearing any of it. When we're talking about requirements, they're talking about what they're requiring a man to do, but they're not talking about what they themselves are required to do, which is fine. But it's what I'm not hearing is kind of the issue. I'm hearing all these things that men must be and must do and must have, but nothing about, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm responsible for. Here's what I don't hear that. So, I mean, that's kind of what I think that's one of the issues in dating in 2025 and men not approaching is that we hear too much requirements. We don't hear any benefits. We don't hear when I apply for a job or when you have to apply for a job, you hear about the requirements and then you hear about the benefits. Here's why you should work for us. Da, 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 da. So just my 2 cents on that. I mean, it is what it is, but like I said, the message needs to be attacked, but not the messenger. So hey, good luck to us all in trying to find what we want, but just saying the message, could be better. Let's see. Let's try this one.
If you don't have at least one active business or $10 million in your bank account and 12 fursuits in your closet, don't even think about DMing me because I'm not going to respond.
$10 million and one business. I don't think I'm gonna touch that one. I mean, I have suits in my closet, but 10 million in my account. We'll go to the next video. We'll do that. Let's try this.
We're gonna get right into this list, but before we do, if you didn't see my previous video, this is a list of requirements and needs that I need to have met when I am dating somebody. This is a tool that my therapist gave me when I got out of my long-term relationship, so it has been a super helpful and useful thing for me to use and reference when I'm dating someone. For point of reference, this stays in my journal, but what I like to do is take a photo of this, and as I'm dating someone, I'll go through and highlight the qualities that they do meet that is on my needs list. Whatever you go through and is not highlighted is something you are willing to compromise or settle for. So without further ado, let's get into my personal dating needs list. This list is about a page long, so bear with me. We're going to start off real strong here. I need a strong emotional connection. My partner needs to be my best friend in life and in love. They remain calm during difficult conversations. They call and text me when we're apart to let me know that they are thinking of me. Continuous pursuit is important to me throughout the relationship. They care for my safety. They spend quality time and are present and not on their phone. Is reliable and dependable, respects my privacy and boundaries, is affectionate and passionate with me, enjoys time in nature and traveling new places, shares dreams about the future together, communicates and shows appreciation, whether that's words of affirmation or acts of service. My top 2 love languages. I would highly encourage you to include your love languages in this list. Makes me laugh, equally finds me funny, is patient with me and my mental health, resolves conflicts respectfully, educated and ambitious in their career, aligns with my political views and values, supports me in my goals and ambitions, is deeply attracted to me and not just physically, does not have past or present issues with substance abuse, enjoys making spontaneous plans, emotionally secure and does not depend on my validation, inspires me, prioritizes their physical and mental health, vocalizes points of concern and disagreement, and isn't passive aggressive or avoidant in their communication style. In person, in their space, and in their hygiene, I might add to that list, does floss daily and goes to the dentist. Apologizes and takes accountability when they are in the wrong. Remains curious about me, wants to get to know me as much as I want to get to know them. And on the very, very back of my list, because I recently added this one, they are considerate by nature. I do not have to coach them on how to be a considerate person or considerate for me and the people I love. Whoa, that is my list so far. So this is something that is an ongoing process. This list is never solidified. You continually date people and add to this list. That is the whole reason this is such a wonderful tool, is because as you're dating people, you're going to realize, hey, this person has a wonderful quality about them. I want to add it to there. Or, ooh, I didn't like that. Does that align with my list and what I want for myself? So I would highly encourage you to go try that for you. And even if you're in a relationship, this is a very helpful tool to realize whether you are in a position of settling or not. Okay, I love you. Have a beautiful day. We're going to get right into this list.
Okay. Let's see where we start. Okay, so when we're talking about like a list of requirements, or when we're talking about a list of needs, most of what she read off of her list is something that she would eventually get if she stays within the context of a long-term relationship. If she's staying in a long-term relationship, she will acquire all of those things one thing at a time. That is not something that you need to rattle off as far as I need these things and you need to be these things day one. No one's going to, men as a species do not have an obligation to twist and tie themselves into a an idea of what your perfect man is supposed to be. Instead, um, if you expect us to somehow accept you and all of your flaws, in the way you are, in how you act and behave, and to offer and give grace, then that list is going to be irrelevant. Your needs are being met by the man that likes you or loves you. Um, um, and again, for the right man that she's attracted to, this list won't matter. When it comes to that interaction face to face with someone that you're like just head over heels for, like what list? What are you talking about? You know, oh yeah, that's just something that my therapist gave. Think about it. The man that she's attracted to, the man that she wants, the man that approached her, the man that she's in a relationship with, comes across this list and says, "Oh, really? Oh, this, this." So what you're writing down here is that you want me to be this, and you can wind up having just a list and no man, just an idea of one. So, I mean, these lists and these requirements and these, again, nothing about what she brings, what she's bringing to the man, or how she's going to make his life any easier or pleasurable in any sort of way. Um, uh, I mean, okay, fine. Then then the rest of these videos, I'm going to assume, is going to be just what women expect from men, never going to be about what what uh what they're expected to bring to men, So okay, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, these are women, these are requirements in 2025. It is what it is. But what I will say is that no man is going to adhere to her list or anyone else's list. There's always going to be things that are just not going to be as relevant or important in anyone's list. The fundamental, before you even get a list, find someone who's interested in you for you, and that you're interested in just for them. Then you won't have to worry about a list of anything, because all of those things she mentioned in that list will just happen naturally. So, as a result of the dating process. In long-term relationships, most women get what they want, one way or another. Most men get what they want too. I mean, they only want the woman. I mean, everything else seems to be negotiable: the cooking, the cleaning, taking out the trash. I mean, we have to take care of ourselves as adults. So when we live alone, yeah, we cook and we clean and we do this and that. So like I said, it's negotiable. But when it comes to what we want, we actually just want the woman. It starts there. Let's see this one here.
These are the requirements that you need to have in order to date me, a single mom of 3 kids. Number 1 is that you need to be making at least 130K a year, and you need to have at least 2 side hustles. If you cannot make 130K or more, then you are out of my fucking league. How do you expect to give me money for my kids if you only make 50K a year? Second is, I don't date men that are younger than me, because for obvious reasons. So if you are 26 and over, then you qualify. 26 to 35 is the age limit. Okay, I feel like 35 is pushing it because they look old as fuck already. Oh, I'm 26. I'm a baby. So yeah, you have to have at least 3 cars under your name. Your second car has to have 8 seats, because I have 3 kids. So I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you? I'm gonna bring my kids, and you need to have enough space for my kids. So that's why I require you to have an SUV and a vehicle of your own if you're going to be dating me. Another requirement is that you have to have a property under your name, and you have to be looking into getting your second property. You have to get a home that has 6 rooms, because each of my kids have to be in their own room. So you have to be considerate, purchase a house that has 6 rooms, because that's only common sense. And if you cannot meet those requirements, then you're not the fucking one. The last requirement is that it has to be pink. If it's not pink, no. Pink and brown go together. Pink and brown, like what? Duvalin, you know? These are the
So yeah, all of these requirements are pretty much materialistic. This is sizing up a man's bank account, his assets, his cars, whether or not he can afford a home with enough rooms in it. This is going to be one of those cases where there's not really much to say on it. I mean, it's ridiculous on its face, and no man who has the kind of value that she's asking for is going to date a woman with kids. You're not going to achieve a six-figure income, a house with multiple rooms and multiple cars, only to date a single mother over a single woman who has never been married or isn't a mother and is single and is beautiful. Those are just the realistic options and expectations when it comes to the dating market. You're going to find someone who is single and someone who is attractive, and you're going to try and court them because most men want their first instinct is to start their own family and to build their own family, not to fly in and take care of someone else's kids or someone else's family. That's just not their first instinct, especially if they're balling out of control at six figures. So I'll keep it pushing. I don't want to insult anybody's whatever. I mean, it's her requirements. It's what she's asking for. So either she'll find what she's looking for, or someone will find her, or they won't. This is a woman, I believe, that probably gets approached multiple times while she's out in the world, but she's not finding this high earning man that she's trying to filter out, and I don't think he's going to go to her. So just saying. Let's see. Let's try this one.
These are my top 3 requirements if you wanted to date me. For 1, you must be okay with me making more money than you, because it's probably going to happen. Number 2, you can't ever want children because I am never going to have any, so it will not work. 3, you have to be okay with me being with you 24/7 because I have severe codependency issues. These are my top.
Be okay with me making more money than you. I mean, that kind of sounds. I don't know how that sounds. I mean, if she's a millionaire or something like that, or a billionaire, then okay. I mean, most men will have to accept that, right? But if most men who are high earners are watching this video, are probably gonna give her the side eye. I mean, I had my money. I can make more money, of course, but I've had my six-figure income, brand new car, big house, things like that. So if I'm looking at somebody and they're making videos about them having more money than I do, then it's kind of like, well, the only thing you're going to do is try and leverage it over me and throw it in my face every argument we get into or every debate we get into, because you believe that your money means that that you're either more masculine, maybe, or maybe have more authority or decision-making power, or had some kind of leverage. The difference is your money isn't going to make a relationship successful. You don't use your money to create a relationship. It appears. You don't use your money to spoil men and buy them things and try and court them, or have them try and court you, or however the dynamic is that you're willing to accept. You don't use your money to benefit men. So your money isn't really relevant to men. If you're saying you make more money, like, what's the purpose in that? I mean, you're not going to donate any of it. You're not going to use any of it for men. So why is that an issue? It's the man who's going to use his money in order to start dating, in order to take you out places, and in order to buy you gifts and things, and in order to create the environment for a stable relationship that may turn into a marriage. His money matters. Does your money matter? Does it really matter? How much money are you spending on men? So, yeah, does it really matter? I mean, I'm not sure if it's a flex. I'm not sure that women stating how much money they make is the flex that they think it is. You don't spend it on anybody but yourself. I mean, that's not a flex. That's not like, oh, I'm a boss. What do you mean you're not? You make money and you spend money on yourself. I buy dinner for, my date. I buy my daughter an ice cream cone. I buy my sister this. I provide. I use the money that I earn to provide for other people or get other people things. That's a flex. Making money and spending it on yourself is not a flex. It just isn't. So, I mean, again, I do like the fact that she at least is honest with her codependency issue, meaning she needs to be around you 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, which isn't a bad requirement. I mean, but sooner or later you're gonna get sick of each other. You can't the 24/7 thing. I think I know what she means, and I think when you're in a new relationship and when you're in the honeymoon phase, you're gonna naturally want to be around each other all the time. But that starts to wane a little bit because you have to both get back into this reality work mode of she's got to go to work, you got to go to work, and you'll find time to spend time dating and meeting in the middle. But during the honeymoon phase, you'll definitely be around each other 24/7, spending the night at each other's house, staying up all night, going out and then staying in. So I think I know what she means there, but what she's wanting is a honeymoon phase that doesn't end, and relationships don't work that way. So, I mean, it is what it is. But at least she's talking about spending quality time with a significant other as a requirement, which is not something that I've heard previously. Like she actually has a desire to be in a relationship. That's what it sounds like. All right, let's see. This might be interesting, maybe.
So, what are you looking for in a partner?
I'm looking for someone who's smart but not in a pretentious way, attractive but not in an intimidating way, successful but not in the spotlight, funny but not in an obnoxious way, and takes initiative but not in a controlling way. Empathetic but strong-willed, confident but not cocky, and passionate but not too clingy. Independent but not avoidant, troubleshooter but knows when to ask for help, and kind but not in a fake way. Ambitious but reasonable, committed but open to change, and responsible but has a sense of play. Open-minded but not easily swayed, energetic but not annoying, and organized but not anal. An intellect but not a know-it-all, a planner but can also go with the flow. Oh, and sensitive but not weak. Rich but not flashy, and tall but not too tall because it hurts my neck when we kiss. Stable but with a wild side, and nice but has a spine. Patient but a go-getter, wants kids but not right now, and polite but not passive. Curious but not an instigator. Good work ethic but has balance. Oh, and they have to be in a 10-mile radius because I am not doing long distance again. What about you?
Yeah, I just want someone who can dance. So,
That's pretty funny. I like that. It seems like a skit. I mean, it just looks like a skit. It's very funny. I mean, I guess the joke is, all of the list of requirements that women have versus a guy who just wants a girl who can dance. So it's pretty funny. We're pretty simplistic like that. Let's see. Let's try this one.
Requirements. They need to be a real go-getter with a can-do attitude. They need to know how to suck this off the bone, bitch. Now you gonna bridle my tongue, and then I'm gonna get somebody that can't suck. Then what I'm gonna do? Exactly. They have to have an uncanny taste for stroganoff, because I don't know why, but my don't taste nothing like no berries and cream and all that other bullshit. My tastes like slop. Okay, gravy, baby. Get you some rice. White and or I'll brown? just drizzle it over there. White or brown gravy? Is it like that country gravy or like meatloaf gravy? I don't f***ing know. I guess country gravy. That sounds a little bit better. Is that right? Yeah, that.
So think country gravy with biscuits.
BYOB. Bring your own biscuits. What was the question again?
I don't even know.
What was my requirements? Okay, yes. He has to have a good mother head on his shoulders and a lump sum of dick. Okay? The dick gotta be packing. Look, that's why I'm gonna need to be a little bit shorter, because baby, them short men got every inch. They got every inch of the height in dick. Okay? Because I don't need nobody 6'2" with a size 3. Make it make sense. You see what I'm saying? Give it up for dimensions and angles. Give it up for play school. Give it up for jungle gym. No.
Sit back. Sit back.
If you don't want me to answer, why you keep asking me questions?
Because you're taking it a little too far. We right here. You all the way over there.
Shut up. You don't have to do all that. Shut up. This monkey get out if it want to. It's gonna run amok.
Might shut the beat in October on my gas. Yesterday is gone.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty funny. This is the first one I come across where it's more like, sexual requirements, but I mean, now that I think about it a little bit, yeah, there are probably a lot. There are dating requirements, there are sexual requirements, so I do understand that there's a dynamic between the two. And I think in hookup culture, it's about sexual requirements, and about dating culture, it's about other requirements that are outside of sex. So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, but before you get to the one, you need to get to the other, at least in my opinion.
Okay, so I'm like a little bit of a Reddit girly, and I saw something, and it was a guy like asking about something, but I just want to say, girls, if you are putting things like, I only date guys who are 6 feet and taller in your bios on your dating apps and stuff like that, I'm just letting you know, you're not just deflecting the guys who are shorter than that you don't want. You're deflecting all of the good men who don't want a vapid individual. So, yeah, I would restrain yourself. I would refrain from putting that on your bio, because it's just like a guy putting something like, I only date girls who are 130 pounds and or lighter. Like, you wouldn't want to date a guy who had that in his bio, would you? And if you would, then maybe you are the type of girl that should have that in her bio. Let all of us know that you are incredibly vain, and we will see ourselves out. Okay, so I'm like a...
Yeah, I mean, I guess she's got a point. I mean, half of the dating apps that wean men out based off of height or weight or whatever, I mean, you filter out a lot of good potential dating partners or relationship partners based on superficial or artificial things that they can't control, such as their height. But yeah, that's also one thing that's got to kind of, be curbed or come to an end, only because you can't control height, right? But you can control how you feel about a person. If two people are in the real world and instead of cyberspace, chemistry in your biology takes over, and what you feel becomes with another person becomes more relevant than your requirements or so-called requirements. So I mean, we're listening to requirements right now, but we're in digital cyberspace. We're not in the real world where when you bump into someone casually that you might be interested in, and there's mutual attraction there, all of this thing doesn't matter, Let's see what else we got. Requirements in dating.
I live in my house, and I like my space, and I like to go to sleep when I want to go to sleep, and I like to turn on the television or read when I want to read. So if I ever got married again, he would have to live next door.
Wow. Okay. I think this is on somebody else's voice track or something like that. But I guess I'm feeling what she's saying, but I think it's more of a skit. So I don't think it's her real. It's not her real opinion. So let's skip that. Let's try this.
What's the minimum height you would date?
5'11", but like I would rather have 6'2". 5'6". I'm 5'3", so I don't care if someone's taller than me.
How tall are you?
5'2".
So a man who's 5'6", 5'7", who checks all the boxes don't have a chance with you?
No.
The last guy you dated, how tall was he?
5'11".
What is it about the tall men you typically go for?
They're usually more funny because they're a lot more outgoing, honestly, because of their height. No, because if I have a son and they're short, I feel bad for them. I don't care about all that. I don't care about all that.
Or short king has a chance with you?
Yeah, I like the short kings. Okay, they're funny.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't.
I guess this one's not bad. I think the height preferential thing is was kind of a problem back in like 2021, 2022, 2023, something like that. We were talking about a lot of social media talk was about how women only are interested in a small percentage of men based off of their height, their income, and their physical appearance. So I think this kind of falls into that kind of like gap, artificial gap that we kind of all need to get past, because no one's ever going to check off all of your boxes, so let me see, that's dating requirements. Let me look up real quick, bring to the table. All right, bring to the table. Let's see. Let's go through a few of these. I don't want to keep everyone on the internet all day. I know it's a Saturday and you guys have a life and things to do, rather than just listen to me go through all these and react to some of these videos. But I'm doing this now only because, like I said, it's my contribution to this whole internet society thing in 2025. And me being 44 years old, married, child, family, all that, being divorced, all of that, having a six-figure income, house, car, all of that, I'm on the other side of it. So there's just a lot of things that I'm trying to like at least put out there, so people who are watching this can get a better like feeling about themselves. Maybe can go out there, maybe with a fresh vision or pair of eyes, and try dating again. I myself want to contribute my channel to positive solutions as to how we can get back together and reconnect as a society in dating, rather than all of us complaining that dating is trash and it's just full of all of these requirements that are unrealistic, expectations that are unrealistic, and get back to actually just having civilized conversations, getting to know each other as two people. So there's that. Let's see what the first video on bring to the table. Let me see what this goes. Let me see what happens.
I think this idea of bringing to the table, it's not a fucking table. It's like, what are you bringing collectively? So this idea that the man is just, making a gazillion dollars and the woman just has to look pretty and provide that man with sex is enough, is ridiculous. The man needs to do more and the woman needs to do more. They need to, is it 50-50? Well, no, nothing's 50-50, but they both need to be bringing stuff to the team. I think this.
Yeah, I think I can rock with that. I can agree. The table argument isn't really about the proverbial table as far, right? We're talking about negotiations in a relationship and the expectation that one may have over the other, and your negotiables and non-negotiables is when you're knee deep in a relationship, because your attraction sugars between both of you are fired so much to a degree where it's going to work, then the getting to know each other phase has to start, and you have to be willing to accept things that you didn't accept from other people and vice versa. So, I mean, depending on how comfortable or uncomfortable you are with that, is going to determine whether or not you're destined for a long-term relationship that can be something more, or just calling it quits. Let's see. This is the third. Well, this one's a top video, so let me do the second one.
All right, let's talk about what women should be bringing to the table, since a lot of you guys don't know how this works. When my needs are met and I feel safe and secure in my relationship, that allows my feminine energy to come out. When a man treats me correctly, he can expect to be treated like a king. If a man's making me feel valued, I will make sure that he feels valued as well.
For the most part, what she's talking about when it comes to reciprocation, I totally agree with. But the part that a lot of women do not see in this is that it's all about receiving first and then deciding to give. Let's face it, men are expected to give, and then maybe receive the bare minimum of any basic relationship, let alone an intimate one. We see this all the time, where a woman's level of satisfaction within a relationship is dependent on how much her man is giving to her. But the problem with this is that the minute he falters, the minute he loses his job, the minute he's suffering from a mental health issue, she's done. She's gone. And she'll just say it's because she's just not happy. And in these cases, we all know that it's because it was all about what he was giving to her in the first place. It's why men end up feeling used, and it's why men want women that are bringing more to the table in the first place.
Okay, I can agree with the actual commentary in this one as well. I mean, what we're expected to bring to the table is everything that we've been able to acquire, whether it be a house, a car, high-paying job, or a stable job, stability, emotional intelligence, grace, strength, protection, provision. All of these things, we have to bring and show up with before we ask a woman out on a date. When we're asking what does a woman bring to the table, it's usually just herself, her good looks, her charm, her personality. It's all of the things that men find attractive in women is what a man wants a woman to bring to the table. Like softness, the ability to be submissive at some points, soft-spoken, generous, kind, giving, nurturing, isn't rude, hostile, or combative, can speak her mind without being angry, and can listen without taking offense or jumping to conclusions, and knowing when to step back and step away and reassess what was said or what is being said or communicated, rather than flying off the handle or crashing out. So yeah, I mean, we're very simplistic in what we're looking for, but what we're looking for is very specific, because men, I don't care what kind of man you are, you want your significant other to bring you peace and to bring you calm after fighting wars outside all day at the job or at the gym or what have you. So let's see here. Let's try this other video.
What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Babe, I am the table. There's no need to bring anything to the table when you are the table. Perfect personality, perfect face, perfect hair, humble personality that will cook you anything you want, will clean anything you want, will give you anything you desire in this life. I have a plethora of lip balms in my bag at all times, so we can kiss at any time. You will never have dry lips around me. You will have everything to a perfect degree when I'm around. I will do anything for you. We can make Legos together. I am the perfect person that will bring everything to you. So that's what I mean when I say I am the table, because babe, I have it. Do you know what I mean? I have it. You just have to bring, relatively good looking face and an okay personality, and that's the dinner made. So that's exactly what I bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? What do you bring?
Now, I mean, I do like this video because unlike other videos, she's talking about about what she can do for a man and what she brings to the table. But her wording of "I am the table" completely wrong. It completely misses the mark. I mean, if she can leave out the term or scrub out the term "I am the table" and just document it and rattle off all of these things and values and skills that she has that can benefit a man, she is the perfect catch. She could just say she's the perfect catch because I do this for my man. That is what a man wants to hear when we're talking about what do you bring to the table talk. What can you do for me? Like you just rattled off a list, a pretty good list of, you know, what a man would be interested in. So I just wouldn't screw it up by saying I am the table. That's because that's really narcissistic, saying like it's all about you. Like the relationship, which is the table, is not about just you. It's about the both of you. You know, you both have to want this. So this was a pretty good one. Out of all of the other videos, this was a really good one about what she brings to the table. I like that.
So I made the mistake of saying the phrase, "What do you bring to the table?" in regards to women who expect princess treatment and want their entire lives funded by a provider man. And if you had critical thinking skills, you would know that given the context, I didn't mean it in a red pill incel type of way. People are purposefully misconstruing my words and turning me into some kind of male apologist who has such low standards so that someone will pick me. Clearly, I meant it in a way like there should be mutual love and respect and effort on both sides. And that means a 50-50 relationship. Don't take it so literally. Like, it doesn't have to be 50-50 in literally everything, but it's like you get what you put in. If you wanted to be treated like a princess, you will probably have to give prince treatment as well. And to the women commenting that they want their entire lives funded for and want someone to provide for them, I'm assuming you might be a little younger, because if a man comes into your life and wants to provide for you on the get-go, he probably just wants to control you. I'm just such a realist and such a feminist. Like, I want to work for myself. I want to have money. I want to use that money to build our relationship and to build our home. And I want to have a voice that will be heard in that relationship. I know this isn't the case for everyone, but I almost feel like it's very objectifying to have everything paid for. I had a woman comment something like, "If you're giving him access to your womb, then he should be paying for you." As if that's all I'm good for. Am I a womb to be bought? Anyway, to close out this whole "what do you bring to the table" debacle, I just mean you get what you put in. You know, mutual love, respect, effort. And princess treatment often goes hand in hand with prince treatment. So
I don't find anything wrong with what she just said. Like, there was like maybe I mean, she said she's a feminist and she believes, I mean, to be a feminist, last time I checked, is to be equal to men. And that would require a 50-50 relationship, meaning both people in the relationship have to be interested in making it work. So I understand what she's saying there. She's saying that um, uh, the table conversation needs to be about what she brings and what he brings, what they are bringing to each other. And that's a consistent negotiation of things that are always in flux, meaning you typically may have not bought flowers for your ex or any of your exes, but you buy flowers for this one because she makes you feel like she wants you, like she deserves flowers. So, I mean, and you may not be giving out back rubs to all of your exes that you once dated, but this one man who works very hard, you feel like he deserves a back rub. So there are things that you have to open up yourself to in dealing with multiple, like, new relationships, especially if you expect them to be long term. Like, it's a consistent thing of doing for one another to show each other that you still appreciate and want to be together in a relationship if you wanted to go anywhere serious.
Men are always talking about what do women bring to the table, but what do you bring to the table? I went on a date with a guy last night who brought literally nothing to the table. He wasn't cute. He didn't have money. He wasn't that smart. He couldn't fix anything. He said he could barely take care of himself, didn't really know how to raise an animal. just he brought nothing to the table. He was so lackluster, but yet he expected a woman that brought like everything to the table. He said that he wanted a woman who works. He wanted a woman who is doing something with her life. A homeless guy came up to us, and I felt like I was going to have to be the one to defend us. So not only do you not have money, you're not cute, you don't bring anything to the table, but you also can't even like protect a woman. You know, it's just like guys need to bring stuff to the table too.
Okay, so judging from her background, it looks like she's out on like a ranch somewhere. So kind of like a country type of thing. So I would say girls raised out in the farm know more about getting their hands dirty than city guys who don't have to, right? We pay for everything, the mechanic, the tow truck driver to change our tires. So we've been kind of on a concrete jungle, having to navigate making money and having to use our resources in order not to get our hands as dirty as we once did. While a farm girl or country girl is raising animals, getting her hands dirty, doing things day after day. That was taught mostly by her father, who manages that ranch. You typically don't see women running too many ranches, but that's beside the point. So when you're a country mouse and you're coming into the city and you want to start dating, when you're in a different environment full of city mouses, we perceive things differently, including masculinity. So she's thinking she wants an old school traditional provider man, and the city is going to be full of these men. When in actuality, in the city, we have to act accordingly, only because we don't want to lose the financial position that we've worked so hard to gain by being falsely accused of acting inappropriately given any social setting. So there's a lot of like modernization that men have had to do in order to become even that much more civilized and more cautious about the women they choose to talk to or even date, due to this like culture of being canceled and losing your job and your livelihood based off of talking to the wrong woman or dealing with the wrong woman. So men do bring plenty to the table, but the problem is they can lose that table and the house that that table sits in and the car we use to deliver the table to the house. Let's try another one here.
There are 3 things you can tell about a man who asks what you bring to the table.
I've been seeing these types of videos a lot, and it seems that some women are not liking it when the tables have turned and men start asking the same questions that women have been asking them for years. So let's listen to what they have to say.
Number 1, he views relationships as transactional. Number 2, he has unmet needs. Number 3, he dehumanizes a partner.
Okay, so if we're really to think about what they just said, that means that any woman who also asks the same question of a man, of what they bring to the table, would also, in the spirit of equality, be guilty of being those same things, right? Or is it somehow different when a man asks it of a woman? I wonder.
Without knowing it, you might feel like you're in an interview.
Wait, that is exactly what a first date is, and dating in general, actually. It is an interview process in order to be able to determine whether 2 people are actually compatible to be in a long-term committed relationship with each other. And these difficult questions, such as what does the other person bring to the table in terms of the relationship, do need to be asked. Otherwise, it's just going to be a waste of each other's time.
There are 3 things you can tell.
Yeah, I agree with the commentary here. It is an interview process, and it's a consistent, modern dating, but it's a consistent process for people to find out if they're compatible and if it's going to become something serious. But the table conversation isn't supposed to be a combative insult as to size you up or anything. It's a mental exercise in in talking about yourself. It's an opening line to talk about yourself. If you want to put yourself on a high horse or put yourself in a humble position, now's the time to do it with a table conversation, because what men are actually asking is, what are you willing to do for a man? And if I'm your man, what are my expectations of you? What is it that you're willing to bring to me? Um, um, General principle, I'm not asking. This is just who you are. How do you move in a relationship? And these are the things that we need to know before making this kind of long-term commitment or investment into something or somebody. You know. So yeah, I agree with the commentary here, but I like the video. I like these videos with some commentating and commentation in here, because maybe I don't have to speak as much about reacting to it. So let's try this one.
Let me tell you something. The difference between men and women is a man would never take care of a woman who doesn't benefit his life. But a woman would take care of a man who doesn't benefit her life, or who actually is detrimental to her life. And by take care, if you're a woman, you know what I mean by taking care. It doesn't need to be financial. So a man will always want something from you. When he's courting you, he wants something from you. When he marries you, he wants something from you as a wife. Even after you break up, if he hits you with that, I miss you and I'm still in love with you, he wants something from you. It's not about you, it's about him. He's telling you about him. But women would take a man back just to take care of that man. This is just general observation in life. They would just be so self-sacrificing, because for us, the need for validation, the attention of a man is so highly ingrained, like it's a program in our mind. And even if we saw our mothers or our grandmothers struggle and get nothing out of a marriage, there's still something in us that's being programmed to think that somehow taking care of a man is like achieving an ultimate prize. And I'm speaking as a happily married woman. I guess what I'm saying is this: when he asks you what you bring to the table, he already knows what you bring to the table, or he wouldn't be taking care of you, or he wouldn't even be taking you out, for that matter. Let me tell you something that.
Okay, so like I said, the table conversation is not like an insulting attack on you trying to establish your value or worth. It's just a conversation as to what am I getting, what am I supposed to be receiving from this relationship, because I already know what I'm going to be bringing and giving to you as a man giving to a woman. Like, our expectations, like for most men, our role is pretty clear. It's never really changed, from protection and provision and some kind of financial stability. It's always been within that context. What is new is that women no longer want to be held to their gender stereotypes or roles. So then the questions have to be asked, like what are you bringing? And there are women who find it insulting to ask a question that you would ask any grown adult, or any grown adult applying for a job would be expected to answer. You're not, if your boss, or if your potential boss for your job interview asks what you bring to the table or what you bring to the team or the company, you're not going to be offended and scoff and walk off and say, and then turn the tables and be like, well, what do you bring? Like, none of that actually happens during a job interview or when you're trying to get hired on somewhere. Being in a relationship has to be the job that you want to apply for. So therefore, you need to put your best foot forward. And an attitude is an antithesis of that. An attitude tells us you really don't care, you're not interested, and you are wasting time. I mean, you're here for the free dinner and drinks, but other than that, you don't want to answer any serious questions. So how can I take anything about you seriously? At least that's what I'm getting from this video.
What do I bring to the table, you ask? Men should probably never ask me that question because I have answers. Statistically, men earn 26% more when they're married versus when they're single. Did you know that? And it's not because their woman is doing cartwheels for him. It's because truly a good woman brings peace, structure, and emotional stability. And what does that do? It lets the man focus, lead, ascend. So what do I bring to the table? Dude, I bring the environment where you become your best self. So you're welcome. And if he can't recognize that, then he's not a table. He's like a folding chair.
Okay, at least in this answer, she's talking about what a woman can bring to the table. She could have left it as, hey, this is what I bring, or this is what women should be bringing to the table, and it would have been a perfectly legitimate video. But when it got personal and, you know, calling men a folding chair or something like, yeah, I mean, there's like that little tidbit of comment that just could have left that off, that little ad hominem, whatever. It would have been a really good video that I could rock with, but I mean, it's just these ad hominem attacks, like, oh, he's just that holding. Like, we don't need all that. It's just, if you can bring something of value to a man's life, why not just make a video saying that and leaving it and just mic dropping right there? But it is what it is. But anyway, as I'm scrolling through here, I'm looking at a couple of things. I probably need to do a review of some of these videos so I can not waste your time going through here by here and then whatever. But I've been on for about 2 hours, 30 minutes, and I don't want to take up everyone's Saturday. But it's been real good, these reviewing these TikTok videos and just kind of reacting to them. This is my first time really doing anything like this. So I hope I've been at least moderately entertaining somewhat. I really enjoyed these videos. I really enjoyed reacting to them with you guys and getting my 2 cents on it. I hope I wasn't too. I hope if you're looking at this and you're commenting, I wasn't too, like, I guess, one way judgmental or something like that. Because like I said, I don't know any of these people, and I don't have anything against them. It's just the argument. The argument may be wrong. I mean, or maybe something I disagree with. Not the person. I mean, a person's opinion can change, from day to day, but it's the opinion that I'm after, not really the person. I mean, I'm pretty sure every single person on TikTok that's complained about men not approaching and dating requirements, I'm pretty sure they're in relationships right now or in some kind of situation where they're being vetted or someone's talking to them or someone's actually approached them or someone's actually in the mix and the sausage is being made. Da, 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 da. But videos last forever, right? I mean, these videos could have been made like months ago. Who knows? But their situation, I'm sure, probably may have changed drastically by the time I've actually gotten a hold of some of these videos. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on today and go over modern dating, 2020, 2020, whatever, 2025, 2024, 2026. So, yeah, I hopefully want to do like a panel discussion on modern dating in 2025 or whatever, and like maybe have a discussion on what problems people are running into, whether or not men have shoot their shot, whether they're checking out this girl who was checking them out, but they didn't want to say anything, and the reasons why. I've had a lot of experience in the game, in this dating game. I've existed in a world without digital media, without social media, without the internet. I've existed in a world when going into bars and buying girls drinks was the social norm. I am a dancer, and I still dance even today. Well, I haven't lately, but I dance even today. But I enjoy the club life. I enjoy the nightlife. I enjoy the mall. I enjoy interacting with people. So I do want to do a panel discussion on TikTok or on YouTube, maybe on both. Like 1 hour here, 1 hour there. I'll figure something out. I don't really have too much of an audience on YouTube, which is fine. I have more of an audience, it seems like, on TikTok than anything else, so I might need to start there and then work my way up. But yeah, it's kind of fun hanging out with you guys Saturday afternoon. Sun's out, nice day outside. We probably, after 2 hours and 30 minutes of me streaming, it is time for me to disconnect and start. I'm probably going to sit out on my balcony and chill out for a bit, listen to some music, some 80s, of course. But I want everyone to at least walk away this stream with a little something from what we've been reacting to. And hopefully I will catch you guys on somebody else's stream maybe, and maybe I'll chime in my 2 cents there. I hope you guys check out my other channels on, if you're on TikTok, check out my Patreon and check out my YouTube. I have a lot of content that I've been broadcasting over some years. I have a lot of, I have some free content on Patreon, so nothing to worry about that. I can probably post a lot of links on some of my TikTok, or as soon as I figure that out, TikTok and YouTube. YouTube has a lot of my content as well. It has a lot of my shorts on there from when I was doing some shadow stepping in my old house. The full-length videos of my shadow stepping and my podcast and stuff like that can be found on my Patreon. But other than that, also my gaming streams. I do Call of Duty gaming. I'll broadcast that sometimes when I'm playing, and then I'll just post like some of my best plays or my best matches. But dude, they took out in Black Ops 6, they took out like Nuketown 24/7. I'm still pissed about that. I'm not sure why they decide to do these things, and my only guess would be that Black Ops 7 is out, so they want to force people to transition from Black Ops 6 to 7. But there's not really a reason to transition like Black Ops unless there's some real reason. And for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when you're playing Call of Duty and you're buying all of these accessories and attributes, like, dude, your Activision account should be carrying these operators, these classes, these unlocks forward. Meaning, the packages or bundles you buy should carry forward to any version of Black Ops. You should be able to use the Predator Black Ops in Black Ops 6, 7, or whatever in the future. And as long as you bought it, as long as you have the rights on that Black Ops that you used to play and you've unlocked that operator skin, that skin should transition forward to any other type of version of Black Ops you play. That's only, that's me. That's the software engineer gamer / me coming out. But anyway, I want you guys to have a good weekend. My birthday was yesterday. I just turned 44. I am going to come back a little bit later, maybe, and do an hour. And in that hour, I want to go over some 80s movies and some 80s television shows. And I'm going to try and compile a list of 80s television, 90s television, 70s maybe. I wasn't around in the 70s, but some 70s television shows were out then, some 70s movies I've been watching too. So we're going to talk about actors, we're going to talk about stars, we're going to talk about movies, we're going to talk about directors, we're going to talk about we want to talk about a lot of things like film and media related, comparing the old school to the new school, and what is or isn't acceptable. And we're going to talk about reboots and remakes and why they're mostly trash, and why some classics should have been left alone and unmolested. But anyway, into the Black Dragon. On all social medias, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Well, Facebook? No, I'm not an internet. Well, Internet Black Dragon is not on Facebook. It's just me. I'm on Facebook, but anyway. I used to be on Twitter, known as X, which is whatever. I used to be on there, but it got kind of like it got carried away with so much stuff, so I just decided to get off of that. Also, you can message me through there, and if you had any shadow step ideas or videos that you wanted me to try and put together, such as like songs that you wanted me to maybe see if I can dance to or something like that, that maybe 80s, 90s, or even something that's new, you can go ahead and get at me. Like I said, TikTok, Instagram. Um, uh, um, I think I'm on this app called Threads, which is like kind of tightly coupled into Instagram. So you can get me at Threads too. I'm Enter the Black Dragon everywhere, usually with an underscore in between the letters. But let me know what you guys think. If you had any feedback, if you had any comments, if you had any ideas for either future videos or shows, or if you wanted to be a panel guest and had some topics you wanted to discuss, just let me know, and I will be available all night tonight. I'm off. Tomorrow I work, so I'll be on later on tonight, maybe around 7 or 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Get at me though, and subscribe, like, follow, tap, share, whatever the hell people are doing these days. I am EBD, and I shall see y'all later.